Well, just ask any teenager. Their schedules are full. There's no room for anything like diabetes. But one Florida teenager learned she had to make room, and now she may be helping to make history as part of a clinical trial on a groundbreaking new vaccine. There are a few things 16-year-old Rachel Burton is totally passionate about. Her friends make the short list, so does her dog Bella. And there's nothing Rachel loves more than a good throwdown on the volleyball court.
It just always has been important to me. It's like the best feeling on the earth. That's kind of what my life revolves around.
But recently, Rachel got some news that threatened to throw her off her game. She was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
I was not happy. I didn't see it coming at all.
But the signs were there. Her mom, Nancy, first noticed a change in her sports performance.
Her strength wasn't there, that she wasn't doing the jumps like she used to be able to, and we just thought that it was Rachel being a teenager.
There were other signs. Rachel had lost a lot of weight. She went to the bathroom constantly, and she couldn't get enough to drink. All she wanted to do was sleep.
I could barely keep myself up. After school, I would just fall asleep.
After a volleyball tournament one weekend, the family had Rachel's blood sugar checked. It was 569, dangerously high. She was transported to All Children's Hospital, where she received her diagnosis and a mandate for a new lifestyle.
She went from, playing a 2-day volleyball tournament in Orlando to, a Monday, learning how to give herself shots and check her sugar, and to a day later giving herself, injections 4 times a day. I mean, it was just overwhelming.
For Rachel, getting past the needles was a pain.
I'd get really nervous, my hands get clammy and stuff, and I couldn't especially when I'd have to do my pricks and stuff, I couldn't get myself to do it.
The needles are easier now. Rachel is learning to watch her diet and monitor her blood sugar wherever she is.
Oh, you're a vampire, aren't you, huh?
Of course, nobody's perfect. On this morning at the doctor's office, Rachel's sugary breakfast choice catches up with her.
What's your sugar? $4.90?
I only had chocolate milk and a donut before I came.
Did you have your insulin this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty easy for individuals this age to just sort of give up and say, my world just came to an end. I'm not going to do any of this. You can't get me to take insulin, and I'm not going to do it. One of the unfortunate parts about type 1 diabetes, if you really do give up and you don't take insulin, you die pretty acutely. Good morning.
Dr. John Malone has been treating kids with diabetes for decades. He's a diabetic himself.
What is your 14-day average?
Dr. Malone is the principal investigator for a clinical study on a new vaccine called Diamyd. It could be a game changer for people like Rachel. In type 1 diabetics, the cells that make insulin are under attack by the body's own immune system. Curiously, type 1 diabetics often have elevated levels of a protein called GAD, short for glutamic acid decarboxylase.
So it seems, wow, that antibody must be playing some role in the destruction of those cells. So what we need to do is to modify the immune system so that it stops doing that.
It's hoped this new vaccine will do just that.
Little stick.
By immunizing with GAD, the goal is to preserve the body's own ability to produce insulin for a longer period of time.
It's called desensitization. If you are allergic to something and you get small doses of it for a while, supposedly your immune system stops responding to it, and the allergic reaction goes away.
In this study, Rachel has a 2 in 3 chance of getting the vaccine. Her ability to produce insulin will be monitored for at least 2.5 years.
And hopefully then it can help other kids. You know, our goal for Rachel now is to preserve her pancreas, to not make it work quite as hard now so that it'll have, you know, she'll have it later on in life.
A lot of other people have it, so it's not just me. Like, I can't be selfish about it.
This vaccine is not a cure, but if it works, the potential is staggering. Researchers say it could one day prevent people from ever developing diabetes in the first place.
If you can immunize them before they actually get the clinical disease, you have prevented a very significant health problem. And that would be, I think that would be worthy of a lot of awards.
For now, Rachel finds her reward in not letting the disease beat her. She's a competitor after all.
It's not going to stop me.
This vaccine is aimed first at helping young people with type 1 diabetes preserve their capacity to make insulin. In the future, doctors may be able to identify people at high risk by testing their level of GAD antibodies. Then they could immunize them against type 1 diabetes. The study will continue for 2 years.